You know, we live in this seemingly peaceful little corner of Minnesota, and Rebecca and I have both commented. I hear myself doing Minnesota O's a little bit, but we both commented. It's just beautiful here, just beautiful where we live. But it's like a little piece of paradise. But just 2 hours away, I was texting with a friend last night who lives up in the Twin Cities, just asking her, you know, are you guys doing okay? Because 2 hours away, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, has become a focal point for our nation because of the just outrageous death. A man named George Floyd. There's a question in there. You know, maybe many of us are thinking about this, reading the news media. What do we do as a follower of Jesus? What do we do? And I don't honestly, I don't have a perfect or right answer. You know, one of the things we can rightly do is we can rightly feel outraged. We can rightly say, that was so wrong. That should never happen. We can rightly say that. I think that's the heart of God. We can rightly take those things to God. Say, God, please change us. Do what you need to do in us. But there's another thing I think we need to keep tight a hold of. This world is broken. And it is so broken. We got to see something like this. We got to just mourn just the brokenness of our world like God does. That's why he sent Jesus, because he wants to fix this thing that is so messed up and so broken. And in Revelation 21, just a beautiful chapter of the Bible, second to last chapter of the Bible, he says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God." And then listen to this. He says, "He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away." And friends, we ought to be enraged. We ought to take this to God. We ought to say, man, that is just so wrong. It doesn't justify violence or anything else, but we ought to say, man, that is messed up. But it also ought to remind us that we live in a broken world. And our hope is not in the remaking of this world into a perfect world. Our hope is in the one who will one day wipe away every tear, who will one day wipe away this old world. He will replace it with a beautiful, resplendent, perfect new world. And what we need to do today is we need to love, we need to comfort, we need to mourn with those who mourn. But we also need to understand, like, we can't perfect this world. We need to live as best we can. We need to love people, but we're never on our own strength gonna fix the ills of our world. That is reserved for that day that is coming. And so I think it's right in the face of something like this to say, come quickly. It's the last words of the Bible. Come, Lord Jesus.